Okay. So basically, let me start recording now. Oh, sorry, I've started recording again. Uh, you here
I'm
with me?
waiting for this to start.
Yes, you are. Okay. So this is very important to address. I wait. I do realize I'm here and now. I am now on here. I am transcending, but to transcend, I have to ground myself. There's a big thing you have to do, Namdi. Just for yourself and for yourself only. Your metaphysics, ontological metaphysics. What is it? As you are, dark in complexion, black. Who are you, Namdi? And why does metaphysics matter so much? Am I right? Am I wrong? There's no right or wrong. In metaphysics, only only interpretation, only ways, only made to, only many interpretations, infinite, based on disjoint principles. Um, Many interpretations of right or wrong, based on theological points of access. For example, we rabbits share disjoint rules. A black bunny, you are in the metaphysical, the disjoint consciousness to a white bunny, but you all bunnies sharing the quality of a bunny, uh, uh, as there's no racism involved and no superiority in that system to ground yourself as disjoint sets of the shared realities and different perspective. There's no racism, as racism is a disjoint property you don't want via your metaphysics qualia. All rabbits or hares interchange themselves and swap out. Keeping capital states referring to metaphysics as a agnostic system for expressing a physical qualia that's body, heart, legs, mind. The only difference is that there's no difference. The only similarity is there's no difference. The only difference. I am a black bunny. I'm a black hare. The only because we all share the same land or space, physical, and the metaphysical mind of how we process information. We are dendrites of the same world, but we're not grounded in a sense of we're not grounded. We're not transcending. We are we're not warping our reality. We are disjoint, and that is our warp. We share. That is our physics. We share. Like a strand of hair can be on a black bunny. Like my hair can be the same on a white bunny. But just different pigmentation. The metaphysics lies in the property district for the journal. Oh, forget them. Today's date is the 20 sorry, the 22 of December 2025. So why are you talking about metaphysics still? Are we in the metaphysical? No. Are we in the physical? Yes. We all share. Yes. We all share here and now. Here and now refers to the state of who we are and where we are. I will not start this video, well, because it's kind of complex, but it is a problem of the physics and metaphysics, which is a pointer problem in Rift. As of right now, I am naked, but I'm naked for a reason because I just came out of the shower. This month, knowledge reference points to anybody else, anybody's light or dark naked. As the realm of science is literally being naked in the room in a care home. But I do share the same state of reference to other people. Neurodivergent in all shapes and sizes and colors. But to transcend, we must ground ourselves. And that's the first principle of metaphysics. Whether you are segregated or not, it's meant to transcend. You must to transcend. You must know your reference point, and so you can stabilize yourself. That's what I'm really. That's the foundation. That's the first principle of metaphysics. We don't know the state of transition or what it means to transerve, but to move it to left, someone's left might be your right. Is your right, and that is the foundation I'm trying to ground. Moving up is down, down is up, but it's not really up and down. We share up and down the space, but we share different pointers. For example, I am literally here, but I am literally talking about metaphysics, but metaphysics is not really the concern because it shares problems in metaphysics. The language problem, I'm speaking a language right now, English, but I can switch to French, bonjour, or Spanish, okay, tu vois, Japanese, how are you? I stay, I don't live here. Je habite in 15 Eastern Way, in Grace. No, 15 Eastern Way, in Redbridge. We are here and now. As you can hear, there's a beeping sound outside. But that beeping sound means there's something else happening in the world. It's a system I can pick up with my senses via the quark model. But as my system, M for mother, so M for Mike, U for umbrella, K for kilo, O for Oscar, is Muko-OS and Muko socials. We are literally here now, sharing some space on this earth in the physical. But it's not always share. We share the fabric of space-time. And that is why I'm trying to introduce this metaphysics concept for my OS, Muko. Dash O for OKPALA, this was security. The first human rights bound operating system. The goal here of Muko S is literally to protect the physical and the metaphysical as we project ourselves in all dimensions. Dimensional access we access. For example, I am bipolar. I share a dimension of 80 times 80. 80 human rights. 8 times 8, 16. 8 times 8, 64. Oh, 8 times 8, what is that? 64 plus 16, that makes it 80. Is it? 8 times 8. 8 times 8. Plus 8 plus 8. 8 plus 8. So we say 64 plus 64. We say, 64 plus 16. So I'm painting this picture with a memory mosaic model. Because language is very fluid in Igbo, but English is not. We got Nsibidi. Nsibidi is the most dynamic language. Arabic is a very good language. I love Arabic, but Arabic has, because Arabic is tonal, but it's a technique about it's a really resembles the mosaic. It's used to paint a picture of Arabic, which is the Politic Rift. So why am I talking about languages? Because I'm speaking one, and this video can be converted to just streams of language, because Arabic Rakatak, what is that? Arabic. How do you say it? Arabic. How do you say library in Arabic? Sorry, guys. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to find examples of Arabic right now, but it is like that. The library is what? How do you say it? So Arabic is spelled what? So like to say, why I prefer Arabic? Because Arabic is library. Yeah, sorry, that's English word. Arabic is right to left, but Arabic is like the calico language. But language, one language can pick a very good picture. Why? Because Arabic is literally the language of that separates everything in tones. But tone is no left, right. So you get the stop. I'm thinking. So you get the root, the stem, which is called the root of the language. You get the left root. You get the prefix, and you get the postfix. So you get a prefix, you get an infix, which is the root. Um, for all words in Arabic. Now, these dimensions, this root left, left root right, or prefix or infix can be rotated via self-balancing aviatory, and what I call a mosaic memory system. Mosaic memory, define it. Mosaic memory is the concept of anchoring meaning, color coded meaning. It doesn't matter whether colors or not, or shades or tone of colors, but there's a picture that resolves itself in a dimension. The dimension is the full meaning shared across all languages. Arabic shines because Arabic's left root right philosophy or is computational in the metaphysical world. Can describe a scene, a picture, no matter your tone, your tongue. If you have a lisp, because the lisp is a limiting factor in French. If you have a lisp, if you are born with a lisp, you cannot really or demographic difference. Arabic is you share Arabic, but you don't know it. You share, so you speak French, and when you speak French, you have to switch to Arabic. And Arabic you can speak fluently in Arabic without it. So Arabic shines because it's written in right to left. It's written backwards. Arabic is the foundation of many Hebrew languages, but it's not about biblical scenes. It's about the language itself, painting the most dynamic picture. Speaking Arabic is beautiful because it can paint your reality, your ontology, and express your views, Namdi, in the most fluid sense of the word. The language can paint a picture of you riding a bike and describing all the things that happen in the scene and can store it in your memory. And it doesn't matter how beautiful, whether you're watching Titanic or you watch a movie, doesn't matter if you're watching Titanic, you can capture the same blood, sweat, and tears you got from the movie. Because that's how you remember it, that's how you stored it, that's how you processed it in real time. No matter if the section is meaning, you can always jump to a section of memory of the Titanic. Whether it's the ending or the end, you're painting a picture of the people. No matter you capture love and hate, the oxymoron, because you're bipolar. Because of my sensory lights, 6, 7, 8. Now the stage 6 is literally the lights to success. But this makes sense. This is why the rest of the principle really matters. Because we are here now, but we have to share the world, So we'll share at least 2 states minimum via the area of tomography or the area bound by space-time continuum, auxiliary pairs, because space and time are one, but they're interchangeable, and we can't switch. If you want space, you share that one time in that space, or you can share that one space, or you can share no space on all time, but they are there now. Every event happens in a space, and that space has a time, and that time has a space, and there was time, and everything happens at one time, and everything cannot happen at one time based on what you can see. The kind of thing I'm envisioning for this project is to literally take my rift pointer problem now via tomography. Now, rift test: R for Romeo, I for Indigo, F for France, T for Tango. It's a demonstrator. Say you have a portal, and that portal takes you to your metaphysics, some edge of your universe. some edge, but you think there's an edge, you can see everything in that one space. But that means you have. What does that mean? You have transcended, but you are the corner of something because you're looking inside something from a different perspective. But that perspective is not accessible to you because you hold that space at that time. It doesn't matter. That means you've projected yourself upwards. This is what metaphysics really uncovers. For example, you have this room, square box, 7 times room. There's a point of the corner here where you can project yourself downwards to see only the room and see yourself. But you will be in this room, you hear all the noises, you feel, but you don't feel nothing in the physical. Why? Because your body has projected all the senses to another dimension of space. That is all space will all share. That means your body will lay still under a bed, but you will not feel a thing from your body. It will be numb until you come back to the space your body holds. This is what I mean by transcending. But you're not transcending. You are literally in the same space at the same time, but you're not in the physical. You are in the metaphysical. You can hear all the senses around you, maybe. But if you want this room, if you want to come out from, you have to come back to the exact spots you all share. So there's no policy here to say how you take the path to what corner or the room you are in. The metaphysics just stays the same because if you project yourself, if you transcend to some kind of metaphysical concept, you are literally in the same state, in a different state, same state but in a different form, or the same form in a different state. The way you check is up to you, but you must at least know where everything is. For example, the corner of the room I can take any corner, but I can take any path to get to any corner of the room. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners I'm gonna pick here to project myself. To look down from one corner of the room. But to project myself downwards, I see the metaphysical everything here. My body will start to go numb, but it doesn't need to go numb. But because I share that space already. But because I want to see everything and nothing of me. But I am here, but I don't want to do that. So what do I do? So the idea here is tomographically map to my dimension of space-time consciousness. Because I'm aware of I'm going to leave, but am I going to leave the right way? Am I going to come back? That is the real problem with the shared disjoint roles. No matter with my black bunny or white bunny or like a white rabbit or like a wild child rabbit, a black hair, which I am dark in complexion, my dark eyes and my dark qualia. It doesn't matter who I am. But the system must preserve my state in the form I came from, to and fro. There must be no warping of my form in the space-time equilibrium. The kind of thing I'm really stop thinking. So basically, you got this root tomatoes. So basically, you got the RT model. But I'm thinking, say I want to clean my room now from the metaphysical. I can do that if I can still access the space of time. But to someone that comes into the room, it'd be like I'm sleeping. But the room is moving. I'm moving objects. There's something moving objects, but they wouldn't know what's the moving object. You are in trouble with the plane of existence to tidy this room, to keep it clean and tidy, and safe for you to come back. But you want to do it from a different point, because you want to use all the energy in the metaphysical world to clean it. So for me, I'll be here in the metaphysical, but I will not literally be here. I can have myself in the physical form, but interact in the dark form, in the metaphysical form, so I can project myself again to my metaphysical form and interact with the medium I'm in, and that'll be the space and the time continuum I already hold. For example, I can lift this box, lift this clothes, and start packing them away to move out of the room. I can start turning off the lights and clean up the room. Drinking the Pepsi. I can't, what I can interact with is not limited. It's not even more. It's the same thing I can interact with because I come from the same plane. I share the universe as everyone like me. That is if I can hear a sound, I can interact with that sound, but I have to interact with it from a different angle. if it's a radio wave, I can hear everything in the radio wave spectrum around me that comes into this room because I can pick up radio waves because sorry, I can pick up radio waves with the same radio I am, but I can then interact with my radio by changing the channel, retuning the channel, but the tune of the channel is there in the current state. Because if I pull out a radio, I can pull on my computer because it's electromagnetic. Because that's the form I'm in. That's the fabric I share, that we all share. It doesn't matter whether, because my consciousness can interact with it, if I can interact with it. And that brings me to my next point. I can't interact with anything. For example, let me think. Say we got a quark. Oh, okay. Now the definition. Photon. In this principle, we all share the same photon angle. A photon is polarized to the eyes, but not to the eyes, the observer. This is the simplest thing I can say. If you're blind, then you should get no photon. But what you didn't get is nothing. It was nothing of light. If you can't see nothing, what do we see? That is something we'll share, and that is for me the darkness that is nothing and everything to everyone before we can perceive information, sight. But this sight is not limited. It's still there in the metaphysical, and we can literally see without even opening our eyes because we share. Whether we're blind or not, without our brains being damaged, without any modification to our brains, we share the same sight or the same eigenray via our sight, via our eyes. It is not that there's nothing there. It is that there's everything there, but nothing we share. And nothing we share is everything we share. You see, it doesn't matter what it means here. We share nothing of sight because sight is ontology. But the photon we open our eyes can get the photon. It doesn't matter if I close my eyes tightly. There's no pain and suffering there because there's no concept of pain or suffering to experience. And that's when we start to learn. We get what I call signal. We get meaning. Oh, my eyes. And then we can learn the world. We can have a different form of sight. Whether we're present through our ears, we hear nothing, we share nothing. From his point, we share everything. But nothing is everything we share. It doesn't matter how big our sight is. We can see by literally closing our eyes, but we can see other things. Because the medium of information is now heightened. Eigengray is the gray is what we call, it's not pitch black. Because pitch black will represent nothing to us. And when I see my eyes, when I close my eyes, I see eigengray. But eigengray doesn't mean everything. It means nothing to me. But I see nothing of everything you see. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing there, but it's everything. Unless I see something there to pick out or make out. Because if I can see a shooting star in my eyes, I have to pick a shooting star and start to look at other people's eyes. But this is side we all share and we don't share. But in the metaphysical form, these are quantum states. For example, photons are here. They interact with the eyes, but they give us a gray. Now the gray is there, but it's not fully black because we have no cause of darkness. If I was born blind, I wouldn't be able to distinguish anything from my sight. I'll have a different kind of a memory, but this memory is the same memory I share with you. When we see everything and share nothing, because me being blind means I have to use my auditory senses. My auditory senses are 2 pointers. I can use my auditory senses to learn information around it. I can use echolocation, which is another medium I can use of sound. Now, the photons are not sound waves. You have to use a different kind of electromagnetic spectrum, the foster sound to get the information, and that's what I'm saying. The pointer problem is very important to understand. When I'm both blind and deaf, my senses are halved automatically. 3 for certain persons with 3 plus 3, 6, 3 times 6, 9, and we'll have half of that, 7.5. 7.5. If they lose their ears, they'll lose the ones that says. So you have eyes. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So we share 15 cents, 15 human rights, instead of 30. But I'm just diagnosing about myself. But as a worst case, like now, if I can't hear anything, that means there's nothing wrong with me because I can pick up a different way. I can access a different medium. It just takes time, just take retuning my sensory senses. So I will not be up and down. I'll be getting meaning around the world me. Because mosaic memories are dynamic because they prioritize the individual, and that is how we share the realities, whether we know it or not. Whether we are blind and walking stick and deaf, we are part of the system. We're part of the world around us. We can navigate with the kind of a coordinate system, and show that our reference point is anchored to ourselves. Anchoring ourselves to our space and time is the goal of reality. But it doesn't take years to do it. It doesn't matter if I'm teleporting or not. There's a frame of time and space. We all share 2 pointers. That's what the rift pointer problem really is. So graphically, the rift pointer problem is how inputs are sparse. But these inputs are audio inputs, waveforms, and we have to encode that into some kind of information. Because we are here and now. I'm here in the physical. I'm here in the now. But going somewhere means you're transcending. You're moving at angles, right angles. You can take a curve, but you have to take a step. Everything can be modeled as a right angle. It doesn't matter if it's back and forth, but you're trying to cover an area you already know. So you don't go everywhere. For example, if I start cleaning my room with a soap, and I lift and I find a way to interact hypothetically with some kind of with my flannel here, and I clean and I put the water in here, and I start cleaning, and then I lose access and I stop cleaning because I then mess up my space here. I can't clean them all. I'm stuck in a state of half done job because I haven't lost my senses, for example, but I've lost my instrument to clean. Now, the instrument is the cleaning product because I need it to clean to do the job, and I don't want to clean the physical form. I want to clean in the metaphysical form. So if I take my flannel here and I wave it around, up, down, left, right, and start cleaning, and I misplace it, I've lost access to this medium, because I can't remember where it is. So, but I have to remember, but why can't I remember where it is? I already put it down. So I have to come to the physical and search it with my eyes. Yes, and that's the problem here. It just takes more time because you have to switch the mediums. And that's really the problem of the pointer problem. You want, for every medium you search, every chamber you look at, every chemical state you observe, there's 2 ways to do it. Because the medium is here, yeah. So the medium is here, the handkerchief, like the kind of handkerchief is kind of dirty, but it's dirty for cleaning, and you clean it and you wipe it. I go to and clean and wipe and wash it. Because it has to be clean to finish my tasks. So it doesn't matter how I use it. I have a shared space of time, whether in the physical and the metaphysical, to clean the room. So I can consciously switch between the 2 realities. Because if the room is dirty, then I cannot work, and I cannot work does not mean I cannot live. So that is one way to do it. It doesn't matter whether it's transcendental or not. It's just this. If I clean my laptop right now, it's meant to signify there's something changing. Because I can do it with my hands. But my hands were, if I don't have hands, I can do it without hands, which are the metaphysical. I can use other mediums to access it. And if I ever forget where I kept the handkerchief, that means I don't know. Because it's hard to if it's hard to reach. If it's out of reach, the kind of flannel that's dirty, clean and dirty, and I have to use a different medium to clean it. Which is a problem as instrument. Because that has to be clean if I can work on my computer and find a house. It's meant to ground you in your reality too. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to do it. Do it. The foundation of things. But it's not really about doing that thing. It's about ensuring you can reach that space to do it, and have the time to do it, which are the shared problems as well. Because we share half the space and half the time at all times. You share half the space and I share half the time, but you don't know it. Because it is like, if you're here and now, we all share half of here and now. And now and here. This is why in singing matters. So the program of the kind of tomography Rift test is a flexible translator testing, and it works on a pattern match of tomography layers. Because it uses C canonical expression to expand to define to expand and define macros, which checks across regular exposure sequences, which is my solution, first solution of a dynamic sparse mosaic system. Rift test RT Rift R of R and then a colon, then RT or TR Rift test R sub T matching sequence of R capital or small t if you include colon speech mark right bracket rift test dot slash rift test dot h with standard include rift source as rift dot h. The goal here is to use the R syntax, the capital R with a small r. So you get the big R or capital R, and that's rift. You have the R and the small RT with the regular expression RT or rift test. But you test tomographic sequences of dimensions. The goal is to test all sequences. For example, if you have a character coding of A to Z, 0 to 9, and then A to A B C D E F G H I, A to I and 0 to 9, you are matching sequences of hexadecimal characters, and they have to match 3 sets of four realities: cyan, CYAN. Those can be defined as 4 states of color a printer can print, or because you have mesonomic here, so you can represent, for example, R, red, green, blue are the canonical states we use for representing all kind of system. But if you want to expand the system to mosaic, you have to have RGB, and the pixel can be in a state of RGB because that's the color of the row. So, for example, every row can be R row. So you have 3 by 3 row. Each row and column can be red, green, and blue. And that'll be one color sequence. At one time on space. They share that space and time. So there can be one row can be red or green or blue, or it can be red, blue, blue. But there can be in between those 2 states, which is half state. They share half state and the 2, because when you have something, half something, you get a full. When you have 2 half, you get 1. When you get half something, half, you get a quarter. And they all share a quarter states, and they share half of the states, and what? And they all share, and do not share a full 1 state, and share a full 1 state if you want to, and they all share 2 full states to give you the full dynamic system, based on the axis model of X, Y, Z, and dimension of width over the tensor framework, open sensory. No matter how you feel something, there's kind of texture you can distill into the essence using the pi, because pi r squared is the area you distill the information, so there's no blind spots in your sight and how you act on information. The goal here is literally to ensure there's no if you define R sub T, you have to contest your regular expressions tomographically. Whether they match red, green, or blue, alpha, or C, cyan, yellow, cyan, yellow, cyan, yellow, alpha, cyan, yellow. Because cyan color model. It doesn't matter how you model the color, because the color is the same, but to your expression, it's a color, cyan is what? Oh, sorry, not cyan, CYMK, not cyan. Cyan yellow, cyan yellow, cyan CMK, cyan magenta, so cyan magenta, yellow, blue. CYMK color model, based on how the color system was done. It's gonna be an extension of the Rift opening of colors, but the printer must print the reality that distills the lattice based on information. You can make this a project in Rift, and that's why Rift test really matters. Rift terminals have a 2-pointer iota state, and they allow context switching based on the medium. The idea of the so you find light. You find everything that's light is polarized to the wavelength of you. You can see light. You can observe light with our senses. No matter who you are. In the physical and the physical. 2. The quark. The quark is polarized right. Now, the quark is polarized to something else, but we don't know what that thing is. So anything that's seen a quark in its own reality, that's its dimension it's in. In our dimension, we observe photons. We observe photons with our naked eyes as what? As without thinking about it. Without doing any computation. We are conscious. We are seeing light. Everything around us because of photons. As human beings. Two. The quark is the same angular one, but it's literally to us the quark is sorry. So, for example, the photon is not the photon, but we feel the photon's wavelength. The photon is yellow. We get a yellow hue, and we share that fabric of space-time forever, because that's how we define reality. Things we don't see are inverse, opposite us, or going on, and that's why we get white light. Now, white light is what? When this way it becomes red, because redshift takes that, but that's part of the EM spectrum. So, when we measure radio waves, in the worst case, we get what? Red waves, redshift. Now, red is what we don't see. We don't see the red hue of noise. We just see black and white in a radio static system. Because redshift is not what? Because when things are moving away, we get the brain crunch. So we can have a isomorphic universe getting a big crunch. Because our radio waves is literally imploding that universe. And that's when we get a big crunch. It's of a big bang. So we could have had a big bang, but the big crunch is another story I really love. To explain RS, because that means something moved far away and we imploded, because we spread so far away, and we had to. There's nothing for us holding us anymore, so we had a big crunch instead of a big bang. And that's why I believe it's a very because we literally half our dimension to descend. So, for example, we live in a two-dimensional world. Half of it is 1.5. But 1.5 space we can share and not share. But, since everything is moving away in our universe, we have to fall down. Because we are redshifting. Now, everything's moving away. No matter if it's car or not. So, I believe that's the most accurate one. Because redshifting is there. As it is the orbital run, yes, it's accurate one. Because we have to half our dimension. No matter if it's an orb or space we don't share. There's something acting on us. Something is crunching on us. We imploded from a quality state of and there's no super conflict because we have a red state. We have a state of character of like no matter what it is, we have to implode first before we can explode, and that is what the impression we have to make before we can destroy. It's because it doesn't matter where you have a grenade and you implode it, you hold it and you implode it, and the grenade fizzes out because you hold it so hard, it implodes. It's soft, but if it explodes, it's a state it doesn't want to be in. The disorder. But that means because things are moving away, the bubble universe has to crunch some things, and when that thing is crunched, we have to shape ourselves. We're not exploding as difference. We're exploding because we are so diverse, and we cannot hold ourselves together. In the metaphysical and the physical now. So the idea is literally showing that we have a framework for defining this kind of disjoint pairs tomographically in the rift test framework, and showing that RT, R sub T, and R S, that's for spec, for tomography model our pi universe, expanding evolving universe of space-time continuum that we all share via observed state and reality. What we cannot interact with, and basically, you should know distilling of hatred in my framework because I don't like that because it's gonna break the physics. But basically, it doesn't matter. No eugenics, no superiority complexes, no things like racism or segregation, or because I hate that thing because it affects me too much. So basically, that's what I'm saying. It's a policy in my physics. So anything that's distilled as racism, it's not. That's to be reframed correctly. For example, I give the black bunny, white bunny allergy. Could be referred to white women, black women, or white men like me. I mean, that's his goal here. We don't have any genders involved. As genders racism poisons our mind and distorts our reality, and we can never get this project sorted out. Rift is a flexible time system because it allows anyone and everyone to interact in a metaphysical, whether via lattice or Holy Spirit. I think this is nonsense. How I name it. So the goal here is to distill the essence of humanity in a shared heuristics problem. A shared A-star Eulerian graph via a Lagrange transform. Definition. Hamiltonian element. So we get the Lagrange transformations, which are literally in our dimensions moving away. So we are redshifting. So therefore we are we're sparse. So we are using a redshift. When you get a redshift because we're moving away, we are literally radio static. Because we're redshift. Because we're radio static. We're not radio dynamic. We're not like moving mixed up. So we literally have a radio system. Say my strand of hair is dark, and and we are like literally strand of hair. So we're like literally. So we share the same fabric as a mosaic, like what you see. There's the if we have a perfect size system, then nothing will move. But what does movement mean? That means something is changing, and that's not what we have. You know, we have a ready style system. Things are changing because we use a lot of noise around us, but that noise is not coherent for us to make sense of. No matter if you're the smartest person in the world, you can't mix up it. A quark is polarized right, has a right spin. So a quark is we observe the photons. They have a spin that we can observe. A quark we can observe a spin. We can see a half of spin, which is basically a right angle to a quark. What? Get a Higgs boson. A big so basically a quark, a glue one is a quark. So I'm telling you why I know already because I mean this is a quark. So we can observe a photon and still we are. But we can compute it over a photon indefinitely because it's actually anchored to us. It's coming to us. We can observe light, a little light, which we call a photon, whether wave or not, and then we get a quark, which is right. So at all times we can see a quark going to the direction it's going. One is a photon, one is like if I shoot a gun, you can see a gun, but if I'm shooting a gun, but I'm shooting right, that's to my right or to my east, that's where a quark is polarized. In our dimensions. So if I'm at the South Pole, I'm seeing the light coming to me. But if I'm seeing a quark, I'm observing it going east. So I'm measuring a quark. If I'm measuring a quark, I'm measuring it incorrectly because the quark is literally going to the east, 90 degrees east. When it starts and ends at east. A quark is moving away from us. We can't observe the full properties. We can observe the full properties of a quark, but we cannot interact with it in our dimension. Physically, because we as the physical form. What? A Higgs boson. Wait. Okay. So a gluon is moving. So if a quark is moving northeast, east from start to end with e squared. We have a Eulerian transformation that maps to e squared if to call because the Eulerian model is like it's moving away, but we are moving away from it too. So we don't know, we can't really observe it. We can observe all of it in our reality because we're looking at it, measure it, quantum measurement. You can take a quantum measurement of a quark fully. Because it's moving away right to us. If you call it right, but it's not right because it's north. Based on how the phi system works for the quark. From our reference point to the quark. Every time it goes to the quark world. We get the Higgs boson. No. So we get a photon, which is polarized to us. We are in the photon state. The quark, what? And you get a gluon. So you get a gluon. The gluon holds states together. That is why it's called a gluon. If you don't know, but that's why it's physical. Because I'm giving my definition to it based on my model of system. Because gluon is like right. Because if the quark is moving away, the gluon is moving towards us, but we don't need to go towards gluon, so it pulls us in. The gluon it holds the fabric of space time, but when we have too much fabric, we go. Now we get that system, but the lattice of the measures or the flows. It doesn't matter the wave because system is dynamic. It doesn't matter the equilibrium. So we get right. So for example, we get the gluon is not us. Sorry, no. I think it's wrong. Let me check. Sorry. The gluon, basically, no. Gluon, sorry, I'm wrong, because, if we are, gluon, sorry, guys, let me go gluon on the internet. Or quantum field theory, or quantum gluon. Basically, come on, internet, gluon, physics. So, gluon. Not a geon, a gluon, quantum foam, no. Quantum gluon. So we don't have a general message. Sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry, because we're in a photon world, we have to have something that glues us together, and it has to be opposite us, opposite energy groups. If that's a glue one, let me just check my notes. Glue one. Spelling mark Wikipedia. Glue one. So, a gluon is a type of electric particle that's strong between a quark exchange rates. Yes. So, yes. It binds to a quark. Why? Because it's opposite us. It can bind to us. So it's not. So the gluon is right. So we get a quark and we get a Higgs boson. Now, the Higgs bosons they can't be all stable. These are quarks, but they are this is a quark. So you get a quark, you get gluon. Now gluon has a minus E, a plus E, and a. So I'm gonna find a diagram. So we get energy or minus a negative electron with negative mass, and it hits it has some kind of attraction. And it bumps up to goes all this way, and of time you get what? Time you get some kind of wave propagates, and you get the quark. Obviously, you get some gravity, some effect. Now, this is not the complete model. Feynman's diagrams are not complete because they are not muon. Sorry, muon. Sorry. The idea of here is literally to glue stuff together, but everything has to be stable, stable isotope of itself. So because the space of time is precious to show there's no effect principle. Everything is just an equilibrium. For example, the glue I made a mistake, guys. The glue one is there. It's opposite us because it ensures that we are away. This is polarized north, north, because it's away from us. Thank you. It's meant to be away from us because it's meant to reflect our ontology. Because we are a reference point to the gluon in another universe of gluons. Where the universe is chemical states, we all share. They all share. Or we all share. The quark and the gluons are literally S33. Elementary is like because they are. So that's what I'm saying. So example, it doesn't matter. Basically, just one axis. This one polar axis. This place can be one dimension of space-time fabric. But you get north, you get north, you get 4 north, you get 4 east, you get west. Now you get the Higgs boson. I believe it's not the Higgs boson, but the Higgs boson is at the center because it radiates. No one knows what the Higgs boson is, but it's at the center of the universe. So it's all share it, and no one wants to share it because the Higgs boson is the wave format of what I believe is what the isotopic layer of what the neutrinos. Now the neutrinos are Y here and Y because neutrinos are not misfiring. They are the effect of the Higgs boson because the Higgs boson are what are there, and the neutrons are there because the neutrons make up neutral conjugate particles, the proton, and they like things to have a conjugate pair. That's where they're neutrons. They're neutral. They're neutral in all aspect relative. But they won't be relative to ground. So if you have a solid that's a neutron, you have what? A neutron. A solid. The solid is a solid. A solid as a neutron. That would mean the neutrinos are not misfiring. They are the equivalent of the Higgs boson. Now, the Higgs boson are propagated as waves, and the neutrons propagated as want to be matter. Want to be physical matter. And that is why I believe it really matters how you model space and time via waves. Because space and time are there, but the atomic structure of a neutron is literally bound by the physics of the states it's in. It's meant to be a neutral ground for everything. So if the Higgs boson is a stable form, then there's no matter and effect. Because matter means space. Matter needs space, and space needs time. And what I say now in time is so the optimal for space is time. Space time is the mass. But the tomographically all space time continuum share an equivalent of the space time distribution, which is why this is why it matters. So the idea here, Namdi, is literally to ensure that you don't fragment your mind first.
Scientist called James Chadwick, who discovered that atoms also contain particles in their nucleus with no charge that he called neutrons. Most important, however, was the fact that these neutrons had a mass that was very, very similar to the mass of a proton. Pretty much the same. Because of how close these masses are to each other, they are both now assigned a relative mass number of 1. It's a bit lazy, really, as they don't have exactly the same mass. However, this only really causes a headache for very precise measurement. Compared to both protons and neutrons, the relative mass of an electron is given as 1 over 1,840. Because, as we've just found out, the actual mass of a single electron is 1,840 times smaller than the actual mass of a single proton.
So the idea here is to investigate this geophotomic. I'm little like I'm just going to shower, man. Basically, this is a pointer problem. Now, the pointer problem is like indexing. It's when you're indexing a data that you can't really say, building insights based on mosaic of patterns. What is the chemical state of an encoding when you don't know when you're really in the encoding state? What we do all share when we don't know all of how we all are, how we all do. It's like trying to build something. We all share, but we're trying to build that thing so all of us can use it. No matter if it's a ship that vibrates, spaceship or what, a spaceship or what, a spaceship or what, a spaceship or a sea ship or that goes from the ground. My one, you have to share a concept of architectural principle, some kind of prototype that we can all build, given different manuals. It's literally binding the system of there's no shadow copying because shadow copying is like kind of dangerous. We just want to know what we're doing. And that's what I'm saying. It's meant to fulfill kind of self-reference. It's like, how do we all build, but we don't know how we all build when we all work together. The idea here is literally playlists. This is Singing protocol. Here now forever. It's a protocol for distilling essence. Now we've got metaphysics now.
So composite bird means beyond the physical bird.
It's kind of a
simple birds में हम कह सकते हैं.
Metaphysics is not there's no God in metaphysics. We are our own God. That's what we know. That's what you have some kind of reference.
हर वो चीज मेटाफिजिकल है जो 5 सेंस ऑर्गन से बियॉन्ड है. यही वजह इसको क्या बोला जाता है, बियॉन्ड द सेंसरी एक्सपीरियंस. सो फिजिक्स फिजिकल वर्ल्ड
because we are in our reality. We can access our reality. It's like coming to it's kind of downloading your metaphysical consciousness. It's like distilling your consciousness in a physical form, and that's you in time and space. As you grow up, your whole life, your whole consciousness, it's time and space, but in the metaphysical, all you're gonna know, but at one time, but you can't see you can't listen, and that'll be you going from child to adult. But how would you do that? You have to pick an axis, and that axis is your metaphysics. What you all share before you, what you all share, what your body shares, and that is your mind, your birth, how your genetic structure before you end, in space and time. And that will be you growing up to the day you die. You don't need to die, I don't want to die. But the metaphysics really is concerned about your state of being, your current state, here and now, and how you compute over the epsilon states, the Eulerian states. Now, Eulerian is like a bottom-up first Cisco model, where you build up solutions based on the tree model, based on the binary tree, and you need to know the state you're in at all times, no matter the kind of thing you are doing, because even if you leave a point of reference, you get a shadow. You don't know where you're gonna go. You get confused. You start losing access. You're gonna pop and die. So the idea of metaphysics is literally to be able to access any dimension, a dimension above you. Let's say 4 dimension, a 4D, 4 dimension, a dimension above you, a 4D dimension. You have to polarize yourself to the shared states you have in this current dimension. And you have to ensure that you can never descend back, and you have to go up and down, like going up a ladder, and going up the right side. You have to go up a ladder safely and pick the right ladder, right tools to go up that ladder. But you have to go up that ladder at an angle, 90 degrees. Because that ladder is like going up a dimension or going down a dimension. Doesn't matter. I be blind in that dimension. I'll be safe there. I know all the noise that is there in the fabric of space-time, so you can see all of your reality before you can compute anything, about you, So meta are beyond physics, but beyond physics doesn't mean beyond physics. Basically, meta is wrong word for it. I define meta as the meta information, or how we all know the metadata, the meta informatics, the meta functions, the meta state, because it's beyond us, but everyone shares it, but we don't know it. That's why it's called beyond. That's all. But if we all share it and know it, it's not really meta. It's just information that it's also meta because we all know it, we all share it, we all kind of at one time and space. Alexa, stop. There's no God, but our souls transcend because our souls are the physical form we are in. And the best action we can perform. There's no one soul. We all have soul because there's no one soul. There's no one God. It is one God, but basically, we share our hearts. We show our hearts, but we also share souls. Because our souls are our hearts. Both our states are intertwined. Our full state of consciousness intertwined into a physical form, into a form we can all comprehend. And that's what metaphysics is all about. Our souls. What is reality? Now we share half a reality at all times. Now, so you get the quark. You get the quark going right. What you get? You get one polar axis. Now, one polar axis is one sheet of dimension, one sheet of dimension. But you don't want to fragment your mind thinking it's a hair, a strand of hair, like a strand of fragment of space. You want to think that you are any information you get that's new, you are actually in one whole dimension, one whole fabric of space time. Because fabric of space is mosaic. Everything changes because everything interacts with everything else. One thing you have is also everything else. Because it's there, whether you know it or not. And that's what I'm saying. It shifts, but the change is that one thing has. Whether it's a photon or a neutron or you, making all these noises, changes the environment very slowly. The kind of thing you need to understand is that the physical world is literally there for you to start transcending. It's meant for you to actually access dimensions. But you have to polarize yourself close to your goals and objective. So we don't have one objective. We don't have one objective. We share a diverse set of objectives. And we can be because we are here together and now. Thank you, Namdi. Thank you, guys. This is Namdi, the world's first ontological researcher. We are sharing pointers to problems. We share things that it is, and as basically it is a cat or dog, but those things are not heterogeneous because they share many states they can be in as well, because they share states as data, different chemical operations can do. A cat can be in a state of shock, of cuteness, or what? A cat can be firm and happy. A cat can be a Siamese cat, can be furless, but a furless cat, a Siamese cat, or it can be a fat cat. Those are two states of cat share, and they can never branch off genetically. Or it can be things that we observe and we can act on. Vice versa. Things we can't act on kind of directly because our current states are not tied to that thing we want to do yet. For example, like making a video in time and wasting time, but we don't waste time because we have a space to do something, or the resources that could do the amount of space to do something. We share many realities. Infinitely many realities, but we all share many realities. But that's infinite. That's basically we share 2 and 2 or many. So we share one reality. We share one reality. We share 2 realities. Your reality of state tomographic. We share 2 realities. That's how things stabilize. So we all share 2 realities, but we need 4 states of consciousness to do it. For example, doesn't matter. So the first thing like me being aware right now, that's my full state of consciousness. I'm aware. I'm doing stuff. I can act on it. Now, share another state of consciousness, which is the opposite state, the state of nothingness, of emptiness, of voidness, like our souls, emptiness. Then we get the state of that's the 4th state, the type 1, type 4, type 7. Now we get the other state. So that's the first. We get one share. We share nothing and empty. We get everything. Now we get everything. We share everything of nothing of everything. Everything of nothing. And then we get this one. We get nothing of everything. Nothing of everything. That's in our mind, our physical. Basically, it's like this state of consciousness is what we can see in the metaphysical. When we observe other reality, whether in the physical form or in the metaphysical form. We can act on this for themselves, and but then we share something with them. We'll get what is good or bad. We can act on it, what is good or bad, because we share the same state of reality Yeah, and that's type 2 state. So type B state, get type A state, we'll share in our consciousness. Type 2 state, what do you get? I can see what other people are seeing based on some kind of how what they give me the chance to come into the environment. And the final state we shade is like the worst state. But it's what I call the fungi state. Because the fungi state is like a zombie state of consciousness. We know this is what computers computer. Because we can't compute it directly because of our consciousness. Because it actually this is type fungi state because it can be like fungi and ants or fungi. So it's overrides our consciousness, our way of being. No matter if I'm conscious, I can be completing instructions over states and not be aware of what I'm doing. But this state is like being a hospital. If there's something gonna be, has to take over my how I operate on the kind of metaphysics I operate on. No matter if an ant or a human being, the zombie, being a fungi, no, but the kind of system ensure that it's sustainable for the kind of malware it is. I won't call it malware. I'll call it a genetic instruction, because you don't know you're losing awareness. You just lose awareness and you exit reality, but you don't know you have exited because you have nothing to detect that. And that's what the lower level beings, lower level consciousness things do, like ants. They have fungi in a physical form. That means they have it in a metaphysical form. They can be triggered and controlling their body. But zombies, we have in the same. So let's get a current problem. It's meant to be there to sustain in the metaphysical form. And this is basically my RT repository. But we have to share audition, this is lattice audition. This is the mosaic memory model. So this is what I'm saying. It's like a mosaic. So you get the paper on mosaic. This paper learning system, mosaic memory. So basically, it's a previous paper. Previous types of interest. This is what we do in the future. Associative memory, future instruction. Retrieve past pairs. The outcome timers. Input series of time. Figure 1. An elementary memory units. The key are computer function of past observers. This is not really this is all share. Associate. No. Basically, if you're showing something different, we can actually so memory stores key value pair with two keys on corresponding K is a function of K. Okay, the basically associate as a memory. Key R normalization. But this is all shit. This is like a gradient of memory. Memory is colored because tracking of 3 moons. Basically, if you track 2 moons, you are not a celestial body. Oh, what the polluters are a planet. A toy example. Something because a toy example is very good to learn the job. This is a very good paper actually. So using a toy to learn memory, learn from the environment. That's what this is a very good toy actually. Okay, thank you guys. I'm gonna stop my video.